Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm back with a review guys. I'm doing a review of the movie called The 6888. It's a nice movie guys that I just watched a few days back. That just came out of Netflix. The release date of this movie is the 6th of December guys. So it's just got released recently. So, guys, in this movie, obviously, it's one of those way back movies which were acted. It's a war movie where there was a time of World War II. So this was the time when women didn't have so many rights to do so many things like work and all those kind of things. And it's the time where racism was very in a rife, guys. It was very high, the racism. Let alone on women, the level of disrespect that they were receiving, and this was all being portrayed in this movie. So, guys, the movie cast of this movie was the main character being Kerry Washington, acting as Charity Adams. And she really acted her best on this movie, guys. She gave her all. She was herself, and I really like the character. And she was acting as a captain, obviously, leading the ladies, which were the troops that were being trained by her and also going to do their part in the World War, guys. The second member, who was also a main member, in other words, as a cast in the cast, is Ebony Obstian. Sorry if I butchered their name. She was acting as Lena Derocott, and she was really acting nice. I like the character. I wish to watch more of her movies. Obviously, she really did acted nicely. Another person is Sarah Jeffrey Dolores Washington, as she was acting. Also, another person is Oprah Winfrey. Obviously, she acted a part as one of those people who were sitting next to the president, who give advice to the president and such. Another person who acted is Susan Sarandon, who acted as Eleanor Roosevelt. I think she was the wife of the president. As we know, at that time, the president was Roosevelt. The person who was the president. I just forgot the full name, as I'm not really born in America. I'm a South African. Another person who acted on this movie, guys, is Greg Salkin, who was acting as Adam David, Abram David, I mean. And Abram was the boyfriend that decided to go to the military first, and that sparked Lena to decide to go to the military after him. And also another person that acted another bigger role is Johnny Mae. She was sort of a friend, but always teasing other ladies in the military. Her real name is Shanice Williams. Another big actor that acted, guys, on this movie that I won't skip is Dean Norris. He acted as General Halt. He was really a pain to deal with for Captain Charity Adams. And he was showing also a bit of racism, not a bit, a lot of racism towards all the ladies, and they were suffering by him. Another person who was acting as assisting Charity Adams is Captain Champ Bell. She was also another black lady. She was being acted by Milona Jackson. She also did the best. She acted a nice role, guys. The last person that I will talk about is Bernice Baker, who was being acted by Kelly Jefferson. So those were the main actors that were acting on this movie, guys. Obviously, there are others that acted background roles, but these ones were really the main ones. But back to the movie, guys. The movie was, it started off a very romantic kind of movie wherein Adam David, who was a white boy, was really, really in love with this sort of high school girl who was a black girl, who was Lena Derricott. He was really in love. He was driving her around and dropping off. Obviously, Lena, as a person who was not that well off, and he came from a better family, he was driving her all around, guys, and it shows that they were really in love. And even the parents outside, seeing her outside standing with him, they were really reminding them not to do funny stuff, and just trying to be parents that are really caring for Lena. As she was being raised by a single mother, guys. In the movie, it went on for them to do a goodbye for them, for the soldiers that were going to war, and Abram David was part of the people that were going, and Lena was part of the chefs that were assisting on the troops that were going or to celebrate before they left. And it was very awkward because you can imagine your friend being a chef to you, and it was really awkward. And then they decided to go outside to have a talk and a last kiss, which was very, very romantic, I must say. And then the movie turned for the West when Lena was waiting for letters. You know, when they went to war, you only get letters way back. There was no cell phones and such things. When people are at war, there is no time for communication. So the only communication, it was a difficult one, which was letters that were being sent. And this is, in a nutshell, is the whole center of the movie, the communication between soldiers and people at home, their family members, that they want to know what is happening, if they are okay and stuff like that, just to boost the morale also of the soldiers to keep fighting, and not to make sure that also the people at home don't lose hope, have a little bit of faith on what is happening, and have a little bit of insight of what is happening, if it's safe or not. So yes, guys, Lena was waiting for the letters that were not forthcoming up until the father of David came and brought the letter that unfortunately he's no more, it seems. And she went nuts, guys, because that was the only communication that she got. She did never got any letter from him, which was very sad for her, which made her to decide that she wanted to join the military. After hearing that they were also recruiting ladies, and they recruited a hell lot of ladies, guys. I must say that the ladies that were recruited were very, very many, and they didn't even care about the size or whether a person have hit the gym a bit or anything like that. They had to train them from scratch, guys. So they got trained, obviously, by Captain Charity Adam. As I said, it's Kerry Washington. She trained them, and she was very, very strict. And even Lena almost got 3 strikes. I think she ended up on 2 strikes, which was very, very showing that the training was very intense. And she pulled through up until she made it. But they really didn't have too much hope as the generals that were above her on the trainings and or on their capabilities to contribute towards the war. As she was busy fighting just to get something, just to be posted somewhere to contribute towards the war, she got to went to a movie with the ladies, and they tried to sit in front, and again the racism was shown, which was very, very bad for them. Unfortunately, fortunately, when she went to complain, she was given a letter that she have been posted to go to contribute towards the war, in which the contribution was to make sure that the posts arrive to the rightful people at home. In other words, when the soldiers are writing letters, they go directly to the to their homes, which were thousands and thousands and thousands. I think they were even almost reaching millions. By the way, that there were so many those letters, guys, that were not delivered as yet. Never mind the ones that still have to be written, because obviously, when someone sends you a letter, you have to reply. So there were those letters that they had to really adjust for the ones that are going to the soldiers, the ones that are going back home. So they had to do it in 6 months, guys. That was their mission to do, and their contribution towards the war, which was very mind-boggling that there were many, but the letters were very, very so many, and I think they were setting up for failure, guys. And we all know once you send you set someone for failure, they obviously do their best to make it, and most of the time they really make it if they're determined, because you already know that you are geared up for failure, and you just want to prove people wrong. And that was what has happened in this movie, guys. Charity Adams really marched her troops to go to deal with the bunch of letters, and really found a better system of dealing with it one by one, but then finding a way of how they were marked. Some they were even identified by perfumes, some were even opened just to see who they belong to. So they came up with better systems to try, because some of these letters, the numbers couldn't you couldn't even read them, stuff like that. So they had to find better ways of directing those letters back to the sender, or back to back to the receiver who needed that letter. So they did their best, guys. Even though they got one incident where two of the ladies got bombed while they were traveling with the letters. It was just one accident where two ladies died, and then they had to prepare a funeral for them and make contributions, which was very nice, which shows that Stockfells, I think, it's things of the past. It's things that happens in way, way, way back, where people contribute towards a funeral. It's not something that started now. So people, I think, must really contribute when such tragedy happens, so that at least people can find sympathy and be able to rest in peace for our loved ones. So yes, guys, the movie was really, really nice. I must say that I really, really enjoyed the movie. She also, Lena Derricotte also got to see the grave of a boyfriend, which was also nice. And she was also living in pain, guys. She couldn't even date the other guy that she met there, but she was living in pain. But in a nutshell, that is the storyline of the movie, and that is what has happened in the movie. But I must say that it's a very touching movie, guys. It's a touching movie, especially now with war in Ukraine and Russia, and also the Middle East. It's a time where this movie is very, very something that we can relate to. And we also have a sense that the wars that are happening now are still gonna escalate. So we can see these kind of movies really, really is something that really touch us, because we are directly watching the news and all those kind of things. So yes, guys, this was the review of this movie for me. I give it as a rating. I give it obviously an 8. It was a really, really well thought of movie, and it's way back movies, so it was quite expensive, I'm sure. And I must say that it's also a Tyler Perry movie, so you can tell that as a director, Tyler Perry is very, very good, and he do these touching movies many times, and it's nice to see him really diverting and doing something that is quite different from his traditional black people movies. This one was very mixed, and it was a very, very touching story from a storyline that has happened. It is based on fighting a two-front war by Kevin M. Hamel. I think that's the book, but it's a reality story of something that has happened back when the Americans and everyone was fighting Hitler. So that's it, guys. We'll meet on the next one. Cheers.